and especially between the particles of the body. So that we call stress. As the particles try to move over one another or slide over, a plane. So we try to find out what kind of, and for that the basic concept is method of section. He must have told you method of section. Supposing you want to find out stress at a point inside the body, so pass a plane, cut the body through a plane passing through that point into two parts. Okay. So if you have a body, a general three-dimensional body, normally a three-dimensional body will be this is the coordinate system x, y, z. So it is a general shaped body which is deformable, and then you apply load. Let us say that it is subjected to some kind of load. See, load doesn't mean only a force, a moment also is a load, a torque or a twisting moment, a moment vector which tries to rotate the body is also a, so you have different kinds of forces which are acting at different, so obviously it will deform. Now then I say that yes, what is a stress? Stress is not something S-T-R-E-S-S. So we know about the concept of force, capacity to move a body, you apply a force. So now we want to find out stress inside this body. So first of all, I cannot find out, if you say find out stress in this has got infinite number of points inside the body. So you have to be a little particular. You have to say yes, this will be, please find out stress at point, some particular point, whose coordinate must be given. So let us say you say that okay, inside the body there is a point P whose coordinates are x, y, z. Anyway, since I have taken a general, so some coordinate x naught, y naught, z naught, something. So you have to find out stress at point P. So first of all, point must be specified. It is not a general find out stress in a body. I think you must ask a question, yes sir, where to find the stress? It is always found out at a particular point inside the body. Now I cannot go inside the body, so best thing I want to see the point. So I will take a plane, two-dimensional, something like this plane whose two dimensions are measurable and third dimension is very, very small compared to the other two. So a sheet of paper slightly having a small thickness is a plane. So take a plane and cut this body into two parts. Then you will say, sir, how to cut? I can have infinite orientation. Yes, I can have infinite orientation passing through the same point and still cut the body. So let us say I take one, I cut this body through some plane. So the body will look like, I am just drawing, this is one plane and this is other part of the body I have separated. So on this part of the body you have this force and this force. On this part of the body there was a force somewhere here, there was a moment. I think this is all. Now, and the point is somewhere here. This is your point P and this is the mirror image of, on the other part you have passed through a plane. Now orientation is, this is one particular orientation through which we have cut the body. So I have cut the body into two parts. Now this body, any body which is acted upon by forces is in a state of equilibrium. So this was keeping these external forces that were acting on this body, these forces were keeping this body in equilibrium. Now if I have cut this like this, separated the two parts, obviously this part will not be in equilibrium under the action of this part of the forces. Here again this is only a part of the forces. So there must act some force distribution on this plane in order to keep this body in equilibrium. We do not know the nature of force distribution, but then there must be some force distribution, some kind of distributed something. Not that they will all be acting in one direction, but some distribution. So this is the concept, and if you say that yes, this is the kind of distribution that exists over here, then Newton's third law will specify that equal and opposite forces, small forces, distribution means small forces, they must act here. So this will be all equal and opposite here. They must be equal and opposite. So this force system and this force system must be, any point you take, equal and opposite from Newton's third law. So this force distribution must exist on this body in order to keep this body in equilibrium. Obviously we can take, now I will draw another so diagram. So you have this, one is, this room is so hot, so warm, so so if you take now I will take a point P and point P. I will concentrate because this I have drawn on the entire surface. This is a plane, this is on some distribution that is keeping us. So on the P, so if I concentrate on my point P and take a small area around it, here again, point P only, so there will be a small force, some dF, and equal and opposite force will be here, some dF. Then some, one school of thought says, oh, there will be only one dF, a small sum distribute some force. Then another mechanician, he came up with a, no, there must also be a small moment, not only force. So every particle must be subjected to a small force and a small moment. So this is now equal and opposite. See, mechanics is, we make extensive use of Newton's law. Newton's second law of course is equilibrium, and third law whenever we take free bodies, whenever two bodies are there separated from one another, equal and opposite force must act on this. So you have, and this area is, let us say, A, no, that is also, let us say, dA, this is, and this is, the area is always defined, any plane is defined by a normal to it, because this is one particular plane. I have not drawn all the planes passing through point P. There can be number of orientation. So let us say this is defined by some normal. So there is one normal here, outward, negative, a plane is defined by the normal, outward normal to it. always a plane is defined by an outward normal. Now this normal, I have drawn it like this, so this must be, let us say, a unit normal. This is unit normal. I hope you know that. This is, if A is a vector, so this is called a unit vector on top of it. So this is now, so I define, I mean not only I mean the stress at a point P inside the body is defined as stress in general. Stress is dF by dA, force per unit area. You shrink that area into a point, then you will define stress at a point P, and then in the, we always have the concept of limit. So limit as delta A tends to 0. So this is the basic definition of stress at a point. In general, if there is a F, now F direction is anything. F need not be, F can have again a normal component and two directions, in the plane itself. But I am just drawing a general. So stress at a point is the force, the small force that is acting through that point divided by area, and since we are saying point, so the area must reduce to a point, so we take limit. So this is the basic definition of stress. This is also called couple stress, and that we define as dm there is another stress, kind of stress, that is called couple stress. The moment which are small forces that are trying to rotate the body, rotate that small particle, it is like, so those are, if you take this, they are called couple, couple, couple stresses, and this is called just simple stress. Now the effect of, so this is the effect of external forces on the body, on a deformable body. So this way we can, so if you want to know what is happening inside the body, we must find out stress, and then we will tell you how to find out these quantities properly. So this is the basic definition. Now if so I thought that this was covered by him, but then whatever I have seen, now we have a problem. As I told you, we can have infinite number of planes passing through point P. I cannot deal with infinite. I am dealing with Cartesian system of coordinates, 3 directions, x, y, z, or r theta z, cylindrical coordinate, or r phi theta, spherical coordinate. Most of the coordinates, and these are all orthogonal coordinate systems. I think you know orthogonal coordinate system. Angle between all these axes are always 90 degrees. So we are dealing with orthogonal coordinate system, and this is a Cartesian system of force distribution. See, I have chosen only one point now. Similarly, if you take another point Q, there will be similar, there will be some other force. So all these points will have different stresses. It cannot have, this plane cannot have the same stress at all the points. I will tell you how to find out delta F. First of all, there is how to find out delta F. It is not easy. First of all, one thing that you can find out from equilibrium is this total, because if this is the part and in order to keep this small part or half the part or 1/4 of the part in equilibrium, there must be on this plane, there must be a force and a passing through some point. So there must be a resultant force. That means this resultant is the resultant of all these small forces that are forces and moments that are acting at each and every point. So this is resultant. Now this is also resultant. Now we have got this concept of resultant. Yes, resultants can be found out by applying conditions of equilibrium. Apply conditions of equilibrium, one can find out this. But yes, at a particular point, it is not. There are ways and means of doing, in different problems how to go about it. That we will go through it. But resultant can be found out in a general body. So we have chosen not that point through which resultant passes, but we have chosen some general point P here, and then I am saying, okay, let us say on this one there is a delta F and delta M. Okay, one point. Now the problem is that this is only a particular plane and not necessarily the. Somebody says that no, I will cut this body through same point by I will take a plane like this. Then what? Then the whole force distribution will be different. So that means stresses will be different. So at the same point also stresses will be different depending upon the plane through which it has been cut. It is not necessary that, okay, so that must be kept in mind. So there are infinite sets of stresses that will exist at a particular point. So I will stick to Cartesian coordinate system, and I will take x, y, z. Let me take a plane x, y, z. It is x, y, z. X, y, z is always taken in right-handed screw. You know right-handed screw system. X to y, when you move, the screw movement must be in z direction. Screw, right-handed system. Don't have left-handed screw. It is always right-handed. So if x and y, these are my, and this is the origin. Now in modern terminology, these ones are also denoted by, in some books you will find x1, x2 and x3, where x1, x2 are x, y, z, because it is easier to write in a very compact notation. If I just say I equal to 1, 2, 3, I can write this. I don't have to write x, y, z. I will just simply write xi. I takes 3 values. So while writing mathematical formulae, it is convenient to write by x1, x2, x3. So if you see such notation, don't get perturbed or confused. It is just x1 is x, x2 is y, x3 is z. So now I have cut. Now let me say I am cutting. Now first of all, you know the concept of positive plane. No, not very. How many people know what is a positive plane? This is very important. Here also I have drawn normal outside the normal to the plane outside the body. What is a positive plane? Raise your hands. There should not be any confusion. It should be crystal, because otherwise you will not follow anything. Crystal clear. What is a positive plane? Everything depends upon these concepts. You will need. So I have. Let me that I have. This body was there, and I am considering only one part of the body. There will always be two parts. One part, because if I can know stress on point P through one part, other part will be equal and opposite. So that is so, and then Now I will tell you that this body is there and there is a point somewhere here P, such that if I draw my normal to this unit normal, that is coinciding with positive x axis. I have cut it in such a way through such a plane that the normal through the body plane, I mean normal to the plane of the body is in positive x direction, outward normal, not only any normal. Then somebody will say, sir, what about this normal? I can draw a normal also like this. No, we are concentrating on outward normal. Outward means normal which comes out of the body, not goes into the body. So outward. Please tell me frankly, was this not covered? Okay, then it is all right. That means I am not repeating. Okay. But how did he say? Because I talked to him last night and this morning. He said that I have covered stresses. Okay. Okay. So outward normal. Now my this body is x direction. It is coming out of x axis. So now there is a small area here. I call this as dAx, because area also is a vector. Area is a vector. At the same point you can orient this. So normal. Okay. And then this will be, there will be some force here, delta F. Don't get confused with that F, but I am just saying through that point there is some force delta F. Now I will say that I am now taking 3 components of this. I will take 3 components of this delta Fx into in the 3 direction delta this is all right. This you can take 3, any general force can have can be decomposed into its components, x, y, z component, 3 components. So delta F, see this is the trouble with me, that I am slow. So this is I, F, ijk, what are ijk's? Unit vectors along x, y, z axis. So this is how the 3 components. So okay. So I will now, I will take 3 quotients, 3. So I will take 3 ratios. One is delta Fx by delta Ax, delta, it is Fx kahan gaya bhai, Fx, this is not right. I think someone of you should have told me. This is, this is a force acting on a plane whose outward normal is in x direction. So now I will introduce some indicial notation, something how to define a, so the force now, the first subscript, that means this is a force acting on a plane whose outward normal is in x direction. So first subscript I will say delta Fx. So all the 3 I will keep. The first subscript, okay, this is a force acting on a plane whose outward normal is in, but then all the 3 are not same. This one is acting in x direction. So I will introduce one more subscript. This one is acting in y direction. So I will introduce introduce here, and this one is in Z direction. So this one which I wrote here, you can write here like this. Not that the first one was wrong, but now this is much better, because now we are bringing in also the definition of the plane. X is defined. I have cut by a plane whose outward normal is in x direction. So these are the three components. So I will take this, then delta f okay, then I will take limit because I must bring this area to a point. So I have got three, yes. Positive plane means if you have a plane, this is a plane, outward normal is in like this arrow. If this is in x direction, so this is a positive x plane. If it is in y direction, then this is a positive y plane. If it is in z direction, then this is a positive z plane. So at the same point I am having three planes, x, z and y. I am just changing the orientation of my plane. So I will define, first I am defining by x plane. So positive plane is defined by first of all outward normal, and that must be in the positive x direction. Then it is a positive x plane. Then what was your question then? Is it clear or? So this is all right. These are three ratios, and then now these are something new to you. You have dealt with areas, you have dealt with forces so far in mechanics of rigid bodies, but you have not dealt with these quotients, these ratios. Now this ratio is something important, and that defines the stress at a point. So this one I will define. It is stress at a point P, because point P is, that is what I have taken. You know, I told you that I am talking of point P. This plane is passing through point P, but x plane. So this one I will say, I will have a notation for stress, just like you have a notation for force F and notation for moment M. I will have a new notation for stress, and that is called, it is a Greek letter tau, T-A-U, tau. So tau is horizontal line, and then you take this little curve. It is not T. T means this is straight. This is like this. This is tau or tau, depending upon from which country you are, So tau. So tau is defined like this. So I will say that this is a stress on a plane whose outward normal is in x direction. So all I will first define, okay, tau, by a single notation. All are stresses, but then there is some difference. I mean, why some? There is a lot of difference. So here they are all acting on a plane whose outward normal is in positive direction. So this I will put a subscript x everywhere. Is it clear? First subscript, stress acting on a plane whose outward normal is in x direction, but then all are not same. One is in x direction, other one is in y direction, third one is in z direction. So I will put the second subscript here. I will put here xx, here xy, and here second. So I have come up with three terms now. On a x plane, I have got 3 stress values at the same point P. Okay. And these are defined like this. So this is the basic definition of stress at a point, of course, whose outward normal is in x direction. It is defined by 3 quantities. So this one is called normal stress, because this one is in x direction, out, the force also is in normal to the plane. So this one becomes normal stress. So this one is called this one is x, this is x, this is x outward normal, let us say, and y direction was, let us say, like this. So this is so force is in this direction. So force is tangential to the plane. The first force is normal to the plane, so normal stress. Second force delta f xy is a tangential force to the plane. So this is like this. Third force also is tangential to the plane. So every plane will have 1 normal and 2 shear. So that will come. So this is called normal stress. This is called a shear stress. In y direction, and this is shear stress. So tangential force which is acting on the plane is the shear stress. So but then this you have got it. Now repeat this process. See, you have got in fact there is no need to remove. Repeat this process. To the same point, I am cutting through a plane in such a way that outward normal, that means my body is like this, outward normal, this is positive normal, unit normal, positive, this is called positive, that is in a positive y direction. Outward normal is in a positive y direction. So this is a positive y plane. This is called a positive y plane. The first one was a positive x plane. So now it is a positive a. Now obviously the plane is now different at the same point. Point is same P, and there is a small area around it. Point is, area also will be different from incline, so all the area ax, ay, az. So this is, so we will have here delta f is it okay, acting on y plane, and second subscript will be x, here it will be y, and here it will be z. So I have got 3 forces again at the same point. Please note, at the same point we are passing another plane whose outward normal is in y direction. Is it clear to everybody? The class number is small, but I don't find this is not 60, 58 or 60, number is small. So this is, I will use the same. You don't do this in your notes, huh? You write it. You please write it. I am just doing it for saving some time. So this is now delta y, delta yx, delta yy, delta fyz, and area is y. So this is all y. So we have got three ratios. Again, notation remains the same, but because the quantities have changed, this is different, this is different. So this value must be different. So how to denote it? So first of all first subscript must be y. Why first subscript must be y? Because it is positive y plane. All the quantities are going to be defined on a positive y plane. So first subscript defines the plane on which it acts. Then the second subscript it is very simple. So I have come up with another three quantities which are different from those. So first time I got three quantities and they were tau xx, tau xy, tau xz. Is it not? This I got first time. Now I am getting tau yx, tau yy, and tau y. I am just writing in a orderly fashion, nothing else. Arrangement of these numbers, I mean terms. So I have got now definition of another stress. Of course, which one is normal and which are shear stresses here? Second one, this one is normal because this is normal to the plane divided by the area. So this area is normal to this force. So this is a normal stress acting in y direction. This is a shear stress because on a plane in x direction. So this is shear and this also is shear. Now we do the same thing for third. For quick, draw another diagram, neat diagram, third one in your notes. So I have cut it in such a way, the same one, and point P is the same. So now it is like this. The outward normal is in z direction and the forces will be so delta F Z x, delta F Z y, delta F Z z, and this area is AZ. A also you write a general area, any inclined area can be written as IAX plus JAY plus KAZ. Is okay. Any general area can be written as. So this is now. Again I remove this just to save time. Now this is FZX and this is AZ, ZY, AZ is okay, and this is all Now these ratios are different from the other two sets. So this one is called, first of all, the first subscript defines the plane, second subscript defines the direction. So this is the basic definition. same plane, same point P, third plane is such that it is outward normal is in z direction. So, I have got this. Okay. So, now the third set is tau zx, tau zy and tau zz. Now, which one are normal stresses in this? Yes. So, if you write in a orderly fashion 3 rows and 3 columns like this, the way I have written, it is called arrangement of numbers in an orderly fashion. Is called, you have a rectangular matrix. Of course, this is a special case of rectangle. So, this is a square, 3 rows and 3 columns, both are equal. So, it is a square matrix. So, if I put it in a, parenthesis. So, it shows matrix. There are 9 quantities, 3 are normal. On the diagonal now all my quantities are normal. So, there will be 3 normal stresses and 6 are shear stresses. Okay. So, if you want to find out stress at a point, you must compute all these with reference to Cartesian system of coordinate. You must compute all these 9 quantities, and then we say that state of stress at a point P has been computed. So, unless you compute all the 9 quantities, you do not know the state of stress. So, there is a phrase state of stress. What is the state of stress at point P? You must know, sir, 9 quantities, and these are the 9 quantities. If we, of course, we are considering only Cartesian system of coordinate. So, then I have reduced infinite number of planes to 3 planes. Through same point I can pass infinite number of planes. So, that has been reduced to 3 because we are restricting ourselves to orthogonal Cartesian system. But then with this 9, it is possible now to, that we will tell you little later, it is possible to now to find out on any other plane. Once you know x, y, z, you make it x, z, y, z, z dash plane, you can find out. So, this is called stress tensor. So, it is called 9 quantities make it a big stress. It is denoted by a letter either, I will say, no, let it be tau only for the time being. So, it is not a vector, it is more than a vector. Why it is more than a vector? Because it depends, this quantity, these 9 quantities depend upon not only direction of the forces, but also on the plane on which they are acting. So, orientation of the plane also is important here. A vector is known only by a magnitude and direction. So, forces direction, but this takes into account the direction of the force plus the planes on which these forces are acting. So, it is more than a stress tensor. So, this is called stress tensor. Stress. So, just like you have a scalar, vector, second grade is vector. The third set quantities are called tensors. So, this is a new quantity, it is called stress is not a vector, it is not a scalar, it is a tensor, T-E-N-S-O-R, and you need to have 9 quantities. Incidentally, the normal ones, the normal stresses, there is a convention for understanding, they are denoted also by a letter, another Greek letter which are called sigma. This is called sigma, that was tau, this is S-I-G-M-A. So, this is called sigma. So, all the normal stresses are denoted by also another letter, another Greek letter sigma, and you can simplify because this is normal stress on plane x. So, I can, instead of 2 subscripts, I can say a single subscript. This is normal stress on plane y.